bonuses, the banks will pay a 50% tax on the total value of all those big bonuses. It was the decision of the board of Royal Bank of Scotland, owners of NatWest, to press ahead with paying bumper bonuses that put fire in the belly of ministers that they had to do something about bankers' pay. But it won't be the employees of branches like this one on the High Street that will bear the brunt of the new tax. The special bonus tax is in fact aimed at 20-odd thousand senior bank executives and investment bankers, many of whom work over there in the cloud-shrouded blocks of the City of London. So what do they think of the special levy in the city?
As long as they're making profits, then why not reward them for that?
Unless they get bonuses, they're going to go elsewhere, aren't they?
It will not deter bonuses being paid, and I think quite rightly.
Luddite attack on the City of London, or overdue partial repayment by bankers of the financial support they've received from taxpayers. The future of perhaps the UK's strongest industry hinges on that question. Robert Peston, BBC News.
Well, let's speak to our political editor, Nick Robinson, who's at number 11 Downing Street. Nick, the Chancellor had to do two things. He had to address the recession, but he also had to address the politics with an election. Did he pull it off, do you think?
Well, no one in a sense could ever pull off a pre-election budget. This is what it was in effect. By saying we're going to put up your taxes, we're going to cut your pay if you work in the public sector, we're going to cut spending too. That was never going to be a vote winner. But what Alistair Darling did was try and wrap that up and say to people, look, if we make that pain in the future, you will get some gain. Spending will carry on now, which will help support the economy, and also spending will continue on schools, hospitals and the police. He's a man walking on a tightrope, really. Do too little to deal with the deficit, and then the markets will lose confidence in him. The Tories say that we will end up paying more in taxes, more in interest rates too as well. But if he did too much, the fear was that he would end any possibility of a recovery and really end any chance at all of Labour winning the next election.
So where does that strategy leave the Conservatives now?
Well, it leaves the Conservatives insisting that not enough has been done, that faster and deeper cuts should be made, but that means their political opponents can say, well, go on then, tell us, what would you cut? When would you cut it? How would you cut it? Where would the money come from? Makes me almost nostalgic, George. We have got back to the old politics of the state. Labour wants it bigger, the Tories want it smaller. You decide.
All right, Nick, thank you. And for full details on the measures in the pre-budget report, including the Chancellor's statement in full, you can go to bbc.co.uk/PBR. Other news now. A devout Christian couple who run a hotel in Liverpool have been cleared of insulting a Muslim guest. Erica Tazi, who stayed at the hotel, accused Benjamin and Sharon Vogelenzang of launching a religiously motivated tirade against her beliefs. The couple denied the charges, and today the case was dismissed. Judith Moritz is outside their hotel now. Judith.
Yes, George, Erica Tazi stayed at this hotel back in March. She claimed that she was berated for her beliefs by the hotel owners, who were then prosecuted as a result. But today, the judge at Liverpool Magistrates Court threw out the case against them. Minutes after Ben and Sharon Vogelenzang were told that they were free to leave court, they emerged to the applause of their supporters.
We are delighted to have been found innocent of any crime. It has been a very difficult 9 months, and we are looking forward to rebuilding our business and getting on with our lives.
The couple had been charged with a public order offence of using threatening, abusive or insulting words which were religiously aggravated. Erica Tazi, a Muslim convert, had alleged that she'd been left traumatised after a row with the couple caused because she was wearing the hijab. Mrs Tazi had been a guest at the Vogelenzang's hotel in Liverpool. The prosecution said that when she came down to the restaurant for breakfast one morning, Mr Vogelenzang had called the Prophet Muhammad a warlord, and his wife had said Muslim women's clothing was a form of bondage. Tonight, back in their hotel, they spoke to the BBC about the row.
The question I made about the bondage was a question that I was expecting some kind of response back from her. But that was it. And that was the strongest of any language that was used.
The case was dismissed because the judge felt it hadn't been proven. The couple had been prosecuted under legislation more commonly used to target antisocial behaviour.
It is a very difficult offence to prove because you have to show those aspects, the hostility and the deliberateness of the hostility to get the offence